Good morning, students. Today we will learn user-defined function. What is a user-defined function? Before starting this chapter, just review our previous topic, what is function and how many type of function. In our previous lecture, we discussed what is function and how many type of function. What is function? Function is a set of statements which are used to perform some specific tasks. And how many type of function are there? There are three type of function inside Python. First one is built-in function, second one is module function, and third one is user-defined function. The first two type of function we already covered in our previous lecture. Now today we will learn what is user-defined function. User-defined function, from its name clear that a user define its own function. So before defining your function, writing your function, first think about it, what you want to perform through your function. What task you want to perform through your function. According to that task, write some statement inside your function. So what is user-defined function? There are functions which are made by user as per as requirement of the user. Obviously, first you need to decide what task you want to perform through your function. So according to that task, you write some statement inside your function. Function is kind of collection of statements which are written for a specific task. So we define a function to perform a specific task. We can use them in any part of our program by calling them. Once you define your program on the starting of your uh, once you define your function on the starting of the program, then you can use them, you can use all the function that you define on the starting of the program in any part of your program. So how you can use that function? If you want to use that function, you need to call that function. That's mean your function will only execute when you call to your function. If you don't call your function, then your function will not execute. So how to define your function? First we use def keyword in the definition of a function. Def is a short form of definition. Now what is the syntax to user defined function? First we write def keyword, then single white space, write function name. This function name should be meaningful and related to your task. Now what is function naming rule? It is same as a identifier naming rule. Inside the identifier naming rule, we use combination of letter, underscore and number. Remember that the name should start from underscore or letter. You never start your name from number. After giving a meaningful name to your function, write simple parenthesis. Inside this parenthesis, we use parameter. Now what is parameter? Parameter is a simple variable which holds some value. Whenever you call this function in future, at the time, whatever the argument you pass, whatever the value you pass, that value is held by this parameter. So after writing or defining your parameter, close this parenthesis and write colon. So whenever we terminate, we end any statement using a colon, that means this statement is going to follow a block of statement or set of statement. So after writing a colon, you will press enter and then your cursor will give automatically some indentation, and inside the function the first statement you write, that is called docstring. What is docstring? Docstring is a simple description about your function, that what kind of task your function is going to perform. So this docstring will help to the user who is going to use your function. So through this docstring, a user come to know about the task of your function. This docstring written inside a triple quote. It's depend upon you whether you want to write docstring inside your function or not. If you want to write, then type this docstring. Otherwise, you cannot write this docstring. It's all depend upon you. Now, after writing docstring, we write some statement inside this function. Now this statement is based upon the task. What kind of task and what task you want to perform through this function. According to the task, you write some statement for that task. When you write the statement according to the task, at the end of this function we use a return keyword. It's all depend upon the user requirement. If a user want to return some value from this function, then the user can use this return keyword and return that value. So now we will learn through our practical session how to create our own function. Let's move to Python interactive mode. So this is Python interactive mode where you can write your program and it will give output on same screen, and in the interactive mode you cannot save your program. So we will write our program in a scripting mode, because as we all know that in scripting mode we can easily save our program. So whenever in future I want to again execute my program, I can easily execute my program. So let's start. Define your function. We know that in the starting we always define our function on the top of the program. So how to define a function? First write def keyword and function name. So before defining a function, first decide what you want to perform through your function. What kind of task you want to perform through your function. So here I want to calculate the area of rectangle. So I'm writing rect underscore and area. Now after writing function name, use simple parentheses. Inside this parentheses, if you want to define parameter, then you can define here. Otherwise, you can also perform task without parameter. So it's all depend upon a user, whether a user want to use or define parameter here or not, because that parameter is going to use inside the function. So as we all know that inside rectangle area we need two values. So here I'm going to declare two parameters, that is ln, length and breadth. So my two parameters are length and breadth, that is lnb. In short, I have written lnb. Then use colon. After typing colon, press enter. Your cursor will give some indentation. And as we learned that if you want to write some description then about your function, that you can use docstring on the top of the function. So here what I am going to write here, area of rectangle. So here I am writing calculate area of rectangle. After writing a docstring for your function, move to next line and write the statement. The statement means that what the task you want to perform. I want to calculate the area, so write here area. Assign the value inside area, that is L multiply B. So L multiply B. Move to next line. Okay. Now I want to print the area. So use print statement and write here area is comma, because you know that whenever you want something as it is on your screen, then we will write that portion inside double quote. Now after writing this string, I want to display the value that is stored inside area. So separate string and variable by comma. Now that is okay, that is enough. So I have done inside this rectangle. Now just come out from this function, rectangle function. After defining a function, what you need to do? You need to call that function. As we all know that Your function will only execute when you call your function. So how to call your function? Write function name and use simple bracket. If inside the function you have defined some parameter, then you need to pass some value during the call. So what are the parameter? That is length and breadth. So I need to pass some value to length and breadth. So my value is 10 and 5. So this is called a function calling syntax. In this way we can call any function. Now execute this function, execute this program. You can see on the interactive mode. So here type the file name. Okay. There is a error. Okay, rectangle. There is a because the function name is not matching with the definition of function. So the error raised on the interactive mode. Now run this program again. Now you can see area is 50. So on the interactive mode, it will display whatever you write, whatever you have written inside the print function. So area is comma area. Area is a variable. So what this area variable is holding, L multiply B, that is 10 multiply 5 means area is holding 50 value. So it will display 50. So in this way we can create our own function. And okay, now how to use return keyword? If you want to return some value through your function, so how you can return any value? For that, at the last of in the last of your function, you need to write return keyword, and which value you want to return. I want to return area value. So after writing return area, what happen whenever you call this function, it will return value that is stored inside this variable. So this variable hold 50, it will return 50. So whenever you call this function, it will return 50. So you can check whether it is returning or not. So because it is returning a 50 value, so you can store that value inside some variable. So here I am storing that value inside A. That means this rectangle function is returning 50. So that 50 will be assigned to A. Now you can check what is stored inside A. So print the value of A. A is A. Now run your program. When you run your program, you can see on your screen it will display area is 50, A is 50. That means your function is returning the value that is stored inside the area. So in this way you can return any value from your function during the call. I hope this is clear to all of you. Okay, thank you.